Good evening, and welcome to a 2-minute episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Hey y'all, I'm just on here for a few minutes. Y'all won't believe my day today. First of all, I want to say thank you for the prayers. My sister is home. Her testing came out fine. It turned out that her potassium was low. I told her I should have figured that one out myself because I've had that problem for years, okay? Anyway, I'm sitting here under my grow light. Listen to me. I'm sitting up here under my seasonal affective disorder light. I'm trying to get a jump on this, and y'all know I'm ordering the new big light next month. So once that gets here, then I'll be good to go. But this is the little one that my sister bought me last year. So to make up for that hour that we've lost in daylight, I've been using it each night from 8:30 when it gets dark up until about 9:45. I just cut it on, so y'all know I'm late because it's 9:30 right now. So I'll leave it on for 15 minutes just to get a little bit of the light therapy in today so that I don't start going downhill. I went and took the CPAP machine back, and that's why I didn't do a video today, because once I got home, I sat here, I made dishwater to wash the dishes, was gonna go in there, wash the dishes, I was gonna cook and settle down for the evening. I came here, flopped down on the couch and fell asleep. And when I woke up, it was 8:30 p.m. and dark. So y'all know I'm up for the night. Y'all know I'm up. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do is tonight I'm gonna catch up on the missed events with the Olympics, because it was like 40 different categories and I only saw 3: swimming, gymnastics, and track. That was it. So all the other stuff that I like equestrian, badminton, archery, I like the rhythmic gymnastics, the diving, and all that stuff. I missed all that, so I'm playing catch up. So that's what I will be doing tonight. And I'm finishing up my cousin's quirky Q bag, and I don't really like it. I like it, but I don't like the colors. It's supposed to be for AKA, the AKA colors, but this is the closest I could get. The green is a little dark, and I think the pink is a little dark. And I was going to run white with it, but when I ran some white with it, it messed around and looked like a watermelon, okay? So I'm leaving it like this. I think she'll like it. It's the thought that counts, huh? But all I need to do now is put the straps on it. So I'm going to finish that up tonight. Excuse the mess. Y'all know how my couch looks. So once I finish this tonight, then I'll get back to my blanket. Like I told you, I got to take this one down. But I started the new one. And this, I've gotten all this done just from the border alone. So I know that this one made with I brought out my Q hook, which makes much bigger stitches and it goes a lot further. It's just not as heavy, which is fine with me. It'll still be warm because there's no holes in it. But anyway, I've got 12 rows done thus far, and I still have the whole blanket to go because I'm just now getting to the rows of the original blanket, which was not big enough. Oops, sorry, my bowls. But this is how wide it ended up being. It's long, but this is the width of it. That's not enough to cover this big body, because y'all done seen it. So this one will be wide enough, and I did make it a little shorter, but it still touches the floor. So as long as it goes from my shoulder to my feet, I'm gonna be straight this winter. I think I'm sleeping now. I'm really gonna be sleeping. And excuse the wee box, y'all. I gave my niece a wee earlier this summer and forgot a whole thing to it. So I brought that out so that I can make sure that she gets that this weekend. The other thing real quick, and didn't I just say this was going to be a short episode? Here we are, 5 minutes already, but this is it. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on it. I went to Value World today because they sent me a text announcing that they were having a 50% off sale all day today, and they did it Tuesday. I went there because, and I had to go into my don't you dare touch money, because the other week when I went last week, they had these tubs there, but they were too high priced for me. They wanted $5 for the big giant tubs, and y'all know I wanted to get some tubs to replace the crates in the greenhouse for my planting next year, because the tubs, the big tubs, are deeper and it's more space. So I figured, oh, I could put like 6 or 7 of those in the greenhouse and just grow in those for my greenhouse plants. Well, I kind of figured if I went today, I said they're probably going to be sold out, because with them being 50% off, that means that each tub was $2.50. So I expected that. I got there and there wasn't a tub left. And I mean, there were probably 100 tubs when I went last week. So somebody might have paid the $5 for them, I don't know. But then it didn't upset me at all, because I thought they were used tubs. You know, some of them were kind of dirty. If I'm going to grow in these type of tubs, I think now I'll rather buy them new. And I know I can go to the dollar store and get them fairly cheap. And like I said, I only need about 6 of them. So I'll just get 2 a month until next season, and then I'll start filling them up. You know, I'm saving my bottles. I've got about 10 bottles now, big bottles, to put at the bottom after I drill the holes, and then I'll get them filled with dirt and compost and stuff like that, so that next season they will be ready. And the crates will not be retired. I'll just take those bags out, and I'll use the dirt that's in those bags to pour into the tubs as well. And then I'm gonna use the crates to stack up, so that when I stack the tubs in the greenhouse, then I won't have to do any bending. They'll be high enough, like tables, to where I can stand and garden. So that's gonna be win-win all the way around. Okay, so when I got to Value World and I saw that they didn't have any more of the tubs, I was like, well, I can at least look around. Y'all, I ended up finding, and like I said, I went into my don't you dare touch money, but I ended up finding one of my prep items that I had been looking for. Now, years ago, I had paid $200 for a radio, and the brand name was Grundig, Grundig. And it was a nice radio because it got the shortwave, it got everything you needed. It went worldwide for the weather and all that stuff. And so I had bought that radio, and then it dawned on me, why did I just spend $200 on this radio? And that was back before any prepping was thought about. I had just bought it to have. And so I took it back to Radio Shack, which is now defunct. I think there might be one Radio Shack store left in America. Anyway, since then, like a couple of years after I bought that radio and took it back and got my money back, the Grundig company went down. This was like in 2011 or 12, because this was in 2010 when I bought that radio. Then I regretted it. I have regretted it ever since. You can still find Grundig radios online used, and they won't top dollar for them because it was a nice radio. Well, anyway, I get to Value World and I find a radio. It's not a Grundig, but it's called a World Star radio, and this radio was popular back in the 70s, and it looks exactly like a Grundig. So I think that either World Star copied off of Grundig or Grundig copied off of World Star. I don't know, because both companies are now obsolete. They no longer even make these radios. Everything is digital now. But this is a regular radio. It has all the features on it that my Grundig had. The one that I regretted taking back. It had all the features. It even have the TV on it. It has the shortwave, CB, weather, all of that. This is a prep item that I wanted because when I started prepping a couple of years ago, I said the one thing, well, I think it was Lead Farmer 73 who mentioned that the one thing everybody needs to get is a good radio that will, so that if we ever have the, SHTF, I think that's what it's called, and I know what it stands for. But anyway, if that ever happens, we may lose all communication, because he's a big proponent on solar power and all that, which I can't afford. I might can now, I don't know, but I've never even been into that. I just went out, I bought a Dutch oven, for if I ever had to cook outside. I bought a nice big large Dutch oven. It's brand new, it's still in my closet, but it's a prep item. And I said that if the power ever goes down or something like that and I need to cook or whatever, I can use my Dutch oven. In fact, I have two. I bought a brand new one, and then I found one used at Value World, and they're not the type of Dutch ovens that people cook with on the stove. These are the type that you would use outside, or you can still use it on the stove too. But you put your charcoal on top of the Dutch oven, and you can cook anything in it. People use them for camping and things like that. So I spent that money and got that Dutch oven from Lodge, and I bought the accessories to it, and it's there in my closet, and it's in my preps. It will only be used for if there's an emergency. So at the time, I thought, wow, that Grundig radio would have come in handy for my preps, and I thought, I need a radio. After it was mentioned by Lead Farmer, I said, I need a radio that's non-digital. And so today I found this radio. It's called World Star, and I'm gonna show it to you. I've got it here on the table. It was dusty. Whoever owned it from the estate, because remember, Value World is a Goodwill store where people donate, and then they get a lot of estates too. People can bring in the estate of a relative who is deceased, and everything from their household is put like in the middle of the aisleway, and then people go through it, and then it's cheap and you buy it or whatever. Well, anyway, this radio was right there. And of course, everybody's going to pass it up because it's an old radio. This radio, I looked it up online, is from 1970. They were made, this particular version was made in 1974. When I tell you I plugged it in the store before purchasing it, it worked. Let me just, hold on. I got to take a few minutes, y'all, to show y'all this. And I lied again. Okay, not a few minutes here because we're going on my little 20 minutes. Okay, but anyway, as you can see, it has all of these. It works perfect. It runs on 6D batteries if you want. And so now I'm getting ready to start, stocking up on batteries for it. I'm gonna get some D batteries. Each month I'll buy a pack, and I'm gonna buy a big pack too. Then that way I've got my batteries. It has the little battery meter and everything on it. It's a nice radio. It has a great sound. As you can see, it has the tone, which is your bass and treble. It has squelch. It has the CB. That doesn't work, but the air worked. I put it on air. I put it on TV1 and TV2. TV2, it worked for me. TV1 brought in one station because, you know, we still do have local stations. And so it came over the airwaves, which surprised me. I didn't know if it would or not because everything is digital. The weather worked, and then it has air. It has air, weather, and I don't know what PB stands for. But anyway, it worked. Everything worked. The radio itself, it worked perfect as if it was just bought. So when I brought it home, because it was dusty, and it's still a little dusty, but I did clean it up some. I'm wiping it now. I still need to clean it up a little more. It looks like a brand new radio, brand new. So I'll get it cleaned up some more. I have to be careful, you know, because I don't want to get water in it or anything. But, yep. And then here's the back to it. The plug is in there, and then you see where it takes the batteries. So the person, and it takes a microphone. So if I hooked up a microphone to it, I would be able to speak through a microphone with this as well. Yep, right here, where it says input. And then you can add an extra antenna to it. It already has two, and the antennas, that's what shocked me, because antennas usually break over the years. Both antennas are in pristine condition. And you use that second antenna if you want to bring in the air and radio and the TV. And it comes in crystal clear. Everything that every setting that I put it on came in crystal clear. The music sounded good and everything. So this will not be used for fishing or anything. This radio is going to just be here if we ever lose power. And that's just in a regular situation. If we lose power, I can at least turn on and listen to the television, you know, what's on the local TV. And so I can get my weather from my news stations with this radio. So at least I'll be able to know what's going on in the world while everything else is down, you know, TV and all that stuff. So it's going to come in handy for all that. So I consider this a blessing. And it's a radio on the same, it's on the same spectrum as the Grundig radio. This would have run when they were open this would have been like maybe a $200 radio, just like the Grundig. I'm quite sure in the 70s it didn't cost that much. But they went down, the Grundig company went down in 2012, I believe. And the WorldStar company went down before then. They went down back in the 90s. So I would assume that this company might have been older. And they said to have this radio fixed, they said you may as well get rid of it and try to buy one used online. I looked online, I looked on eBay, and I pulled up this very radio, and they're selling as high as $100 on eBay, but I saw one as cheap as $39. Most of them ran in the $50 to $60 range. I'm just glad that I got this, and guess what? The price I paid, drum roll please, was that a drum roll? Okay, Renee, here I go again with the noises. Guess how much I paid for this radio, y'all? I paid $15. Value World had it marked at $30, and with it being half off, it was $15, and I thought that it was well worth it. And when I looked it up online, I said for a radio that looks pretty much like new and works like new, that was a good deal. Okay, for it to be a non-digital, regular vintage radio. So you guys, those of you who prep, I'm quite sure you probably already have some form of communication in case we go down. You know, if we go down, you know, we need that. So, and for, you know, bad weather and power outages and whatnot. So here it is, y'all. So Que-stead-Que is happy. So I'm going to be getting this cleaned up some more, and then I'm going to get it put away and tucked away for when it, you know, it's needed. I'm going to just put it away. It doesn't even need to be out. I'll put it in my prep closet, actually. It'll just stay there. And I'll put my batteries next to it, and whenever it's needed, I can get going. Alrighty, you guys, so we're at my 20 minutes, so I'm sorry about that. Once again, I'm always apologizing because I be messing up. I was supposed to be on here. I wasn't going to be on here no longer than 5 minutes, and here we go. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here. You all have a wonderful day, and welcome new subscribers. Some of you have commented, you know, and everything. I'm happy that you're here. I know I'm messing up. My videos are scattered and all over the place. I tell y'all that all the time, but y'all get to know me. Okay. But anyway, I will talk to you later, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye. And I'll be back with an episode tomorrow. Bye-bye.